Hi, I'm Danielle from Life is a Party, and today I want to talk to you about how to use the slice function in Cricut Design Space, and we're going to make all kinds of cool things with it.
So we're going to start by adding a heart to our canvas, and I'm going to change that to pink, and then I'm going to use the scale button to make it bigger, and I want to add some text. I'm going to type "Life is a party," and I need to scale this a little bit smaller so that it will fit in our heart. That looks pretty good. And then all I'm going to do is select both of these. You can either use the select all button, or you can hold down shift and your mouse and select them this way, or you can hold your shift button and click on them over here in the layers panel. Once they're both selected, you'll see that the slice option becomes available. Before that, it was like grayed out like this one is. But once you have two items selected and they're overlapping, you have the slice option. So we'll click on slice. It usually takes a minute for the program to respond. And once it actually slices, you'll see the slice result over here in the layers panel on the right hand side. So you can see now we have slice result, slice result, slice result. So it cuts it into three pieces. So we have the original heart, which has the Life is a Party sliced out of it. And just move it off to the side. This is the text that we used. So I'm going to delete it. And then this is the text that sliced out of the middle part, which you can tell because it's pink. I'm going to delete that as well. And here we have our finished simple slice product. We've got the words sliced out of an object. Let me show you how you can use slice to create new shapes. So we're going to click on shapes and add a circle to our canvas. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and change the color. And then I'm going to duplicate it with the duplicate button so it'll be exactly the same size. Change the color of this one. And then I'm going to use the two circles to create a crescent moon. So just shifting it over, I'll select both. I want to make sure that they're aligned at the top. And with them still both selected, I'll hit the slice button. Here's our slice result. We've actually got a waxing and a waning moon, so whichever you want to use, and then you can just delete the parts that you don't want. But that's how you can use slice and shapes to create new shapes. You can also use the slice tool to crop things. So let's say I was using this image, which is from Cricut Design Space, and I didn't want these clouds on the end of the rainbow. I can go into Shapes, select a square, and then use my square to cover up any elements of the design that I don't want. I've just unlocked it and now I can turn it into a rectangle and cover up both the clouds, and then select the rainbow and the rectangle and choose the slice function at the bottom of the layers panel. Here are my slice results. So there's the original rectangle, which I'm going to delete. Delete all those layers, and now I'm left with the just the rainbow that I wanted. So that's how you can use slice to crop an image in Cricut Design Space. Another way that you can use the slice function in Cricut Design Space is to crop off something like this text and then move it to another section of the image. Because this is a flattened image, I can't just click on, say, the text and move it around. So I'm going to use Slice to do that. I'm going to select a square and then position the square over what I want to crop out and move. I'm going to unlock the square and turn it into a rectangle so I can drag it over the text. And then I just need to select the rectangle in the image and click on the slice button. And then this time, instead of just deleting all our slice results, we're going to get rid of the original black rectangle. But then we have the text sliced off, so we could change its position, we could move it to the top, we could make it smaller, we could do whatever we want with it. So that's a great way to use the slice tool as well, and really helpful in changing around designs. And popular project to do with slice is to do a split monogram. So we're going to add the letter. I'm going to do M for my daughter Madeline, and we'll make it a bit bigger. And then we're going to go to shapes and choose a square. We want to slice a rectangle out of near the middle of the M. So we're going to unlock our square and then change the dimensions to make a rectangle. And then we'll select both of those and use our slice function at the bottom of the layers panel. And here you can see all of our slice results. We just want to keep the M with the cutout, so the rest of these I'm going to delete by selecting them in the layers panel and then hitting delete. And there we have our M with the slice. I want to add the name here, so I'm going to add a text box again and type her name. Typo. Type her name, and then I'll click on the box again and I'll be able to move it. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller and put it sort of in the middle. Actually, it might need to be a little smaller still because I want to have room for a line at the top and the bottom. You can also adjust the letter spacing a little bit just here. Just make it spaced out a little bit more. Okay, I also want to add a line here at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go back to shapes. I'm going to choose the square again. And now I'm going to adjust the square. So I want it to be basically the length of the M, but I want it to be quite narrow. So I'm using my scale button to adjust it. And you can select the background M and your line and go up to align here, and we'll align left. And let me zoom in to try and make sure it looks pretty good. It needs to be a smidge wider. So that looks really good. So we're going to click on it and we're going to choose to duplicate. You can do it here or you can do it up here on the top of the layers panel rather. Once we have our duplicated line, we're going to move it into position at the bottom, and we can select both lines and the cutout M and go to align and align them all left to get them lined up. And then while they are all selected, we're going to weld them together to get rid of those cut lines there. So our M is all welded together. We're gonna select both of these again and go to align, and we'll center horizontally so that it'll shift over the matto into the middle of the M. And that is how you can use Slice to create a split monogram.
I hope you found that really helpful and that you're going to be able to use Slice to create all kinds of cool things in Cricut Design Space.